Okay, thank you. Here to so Jed Richardson. We're to talk about copper in Namibia and Morocco. We're currently producing from the Kombat Mine in northern Namibia, so we're about 4 hours north of Windhoek. Um, we're producing about 8 million pounds of copper annually, and shipping it out through the port at Walvis Bay, trucking it on good roads out to the port. Let's see. Yeah, as far as production goes, we've actually just started operation and started shipping concentrate at the end of February of this year, and pushing towards commercial production in June. But over the next 12-month period, we hope to produce about 8 million pounds of copper, or 4,000 tons, growing to 14,000 tons, or 30 million pounds of copper by 2024. Right now, we're producing from an open pit. Kombat is a historical mine that we've restarted over the last few months. It was built by Goldfields, operated for 45 years, and closed in 2007. We inherited a lot of great infrastructure and took advantage of that to get into production. But historically, it was an underground mine. We're operating it from an open pit, but we'll be moving to underground over the next 2 years. And once we get underground, our production will grow quite considerably. So that will have a great impact on our operating costs. We're currently around $3.50 a pound for copper production, but once underground, we'll be closer to $2 a pound. Where we're mining is actually between Shaft 1 and Shaft 3, if you can follow on the slide, in the open pit. That first stage of that will operate from the open pits for the next 2 years. Then we move to mine from Shaft 1 in 2024. That will go from a head grade of 1% to over 2.6%. And then we have this third shaft called Assis Far West. This is a 2,000 ton per day production shaft that was built by our predecessor. It goes into an area where they sank a shaft but hadn't delineated a resource. So we'll initially work on building the resource in that area, and then bring that production on probably in 2026. At that point, we can double the production again, and potentially produce up to 60 million pounds of copper. Beyond the production that we've got, exploration is a very big part of what we're doing at Trigon, where the mine itself is all within the green square area in the center of the map there. But we now control the yellow shaded area, which gives us about 35 kilometers of strike length. All of the red stars that you're seeing on the map there are at surface copper occurrences. So beyond the work that we have in developing our production from the main operation, we'll be following up all of this exploration potential and looking to build out more resources for the future. So even with a pretty healthy growth profile ahead of us, there's still a lot of growth for us to develop as we explore this ridge at Kombat. We're also working in Morocco. Our project there, we call it Silver Hill because historically that's what was mined there. But it is a copper project, about 65% copper by value. It's in the Anti-Atlas region of Morocco, so the Sahara side of the Atlas Mountains. We are about 150 kilometers from the Imiter mine, which is one of the world's largest silver operations. But what we've noticed in Morocco is just not a lot of modern exploration that's gone on. So we're really excited about what we're seeing, and think there's a lot of potential for this country to become a big destination for base metal, for hard rock mining. We started our work in fall of 2020. We started with some drilling in an area where we had seen some historic works. We consistently were hitting 10 to 20 meter intercepts of 1% copper, with silver grades ranging from 20 to 120 grams per ton, and it gave us we were quite encouraged by what we saw. We also noted another area about 2 kilometers away where we could also see some evidence of some historic work. We put a trench in that area, and we got our best result. So it was 13 meters at 2.7% copper, 34.5 grams per ton silver, and 0.08 kilograms of cobalt. We turned our resources to getting Kombat restarted last year, but in that time period, we still continued work in Morocco, and we did some remote sensing work, some IP. We were looking for a connection between where we had drilled and where we had put the trench, and what we found instead was actually a much more significant than that. We got a very strong chargeability anomaly. Now the full length of our property, so 4 kilometers long, about 1.5 kilometers wide, that shows a lot of potential for mineralization in that area. We are going to be following that up in July with some drilling, testing those targets initially with 2,000 meters of drilling, and we think we're on the verge of a major discovery for Morocco here. Now, as a copper producer, I think probably well known in this group, copper has been one of the top performing metals over the last couple of years, and I think it's an incredibly good time to be a copper producer. We're seeing new demand from new uses, and we're seeing new demand for infrastructure. We're also seeing less production. We're down here at Indaba talking about mainly African mining. It's a good time to be producing in Africa. We're looking at Russian production. Russia accounts for about 5 to 6% of the world's copper, and it may not be available to us over the next little while. We're seeing a lot of labor action and adverse conditions government-wise in Peru and Chile, the largest producers, and more the world has to be dependent on Africa for its copper. And being in Morocco and Namibia, I think we're in some very high quality jurisdictions. Namibia is well established as a copper mining as a mining country. Morocco, world's largest producer of phosphate, but a great place to do business on the continent. And we think it'll make us very attractive for our investors, and in a very stable place to build a company. We're listed on the TSX. Our largest shareholder would be Eric Sprott in Canada. Management directors control about it's more like 8% of the company, and I think we're woefully undervalued. My name's Jed Richardson, mining engineer. I've got my VP operations here, Fanny Mueller, and Aidan Sullivan has our presentations if you need a copy. Thanks.